Apparently, the TV show has a completely different storyline for this book, where the haunted mask returns from the dead and takes over the shopkeeper's body in its quest to conquer Carly Beth forever. It sounds pretty cool. Maybe R.L. Stine could have rewritten that script as The Haunted Mask 3.
Argo Funk Book Review, Argo Funk Book Review.
Our narrator is Steve Boswell, one of the two bullies from the first Haunted Mask book. After setting a squirrel loose in the girls' locker room, he's forced to coach a 6-year-old soccer team. Because of course the school wants a misbehaving 6th grader to watch 21st graders with no adult supervision. What could possibly go wrong in that scenario? The kids are monsters who hurt Steve for fun. Marnie chokes him and kisses his ear so she can spit gum in his ear. It's so weird and gross. The kids prank Steve with feathers in his backpack. They trick him into kicking a soccer ball made of concrete. He's lucky his foot isn't broken. Steve decides to get revenge on the little kids by scaring them. He'll need the scariest mask ever, which is the one Carly Beth wore last year. Steve and Chuck force Carly Beth to tell them where she got the mask. They foolishly ignore her warning that the haunted masks are evil. They take over your entire body. The little kids ruined Steve's best sweater on school picture day. Now he looks like a mud monster. No, that was Goosebumps book 15. Steve and Chuck go to the party store, which sells haunted masks. The store is closed for good, but Steve notices the door to the basement is open. There's a lot of wind and creepy noises as Steve and Chuck break into the store. They find a box of haunted masks. There are a lot of cool, disgusting masks that we don't get to see. Seriously, I wish the book had gone with the monster pig mask or the gorilla mask. Instead, Steve goes with an old man mask. Because old people are scary. The shopkeeper appears. He's intimidating. He warns the mask is not for sale. He wants to call Steve's parents. Steve runs away with the mask, although the shopkeeper almost catches him twice. Steve arranges to meet the kids on Halloween, and he puts on the mask. It instantly turns him into an old man. So his voice sounds like this, and his body hurts all the time. He just wants to lie down and sleep all day. Call me crazy, but I think the mask that turns you into an evil monster was a lot scarier than a mask that makes you want to nap. Steve is terrified when the mask sticks to his skin. He can't take it off. It takes him about 10 minutes to walk across the room so he can call Carly Beth for help. Carly Beth's parents mistake him as a prank caller. I guess Halloween is on Saturday this year, because Steve sleeps at home the whole day instead of going to school. His parents admire his scary mask, while he bemoans the fact that trick-or-treating is impossible. He's so old, he can barely walk from one house to the next, let alone carry an empty candy bag. That's way too heavy. Luckily, the first graders aren't far away. Steve prepares to scare them out of their minds, but they don't even notice his mask. They mistake Steve for a frail old man, the kind that needs help crossing the street. Steve is humiliated as the kids take him to Carly Beth's house. Like her parents did earlier, Carly Beth mistakes Steve for a creepy weirdo and walks away. Steve gets her attention by saying his name out loud, which is something obvious he should have thought of much earlier. Carly Beth decides to help Steve. She says only a symbol of love can remove the haunted mask. Steve kisses Carly Beth passionately. No. I'm just joking. Steve can't have a love's first kiss anymore, because the first grader kissed his ear earlier. Steve tries 2 symbols of love, which are his mom's cookies and his cute dog. Neither one works because, well, maybe because he had the mask on for too long, or maybe because each mask has a different requirement for removal. Carly Beth and Steve return to the costume store. She finds a spider tuxedo costume, which matches Steve's mask. The mask practically takes itself off of Steve's head, as it can't wait to be reunited with its costume. The Tuxedo Mask dances and leaves, much like Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon. It'd be cool if they had to spend the next 30 pages hunting down the mask monster they just unleashed on the city, but no, there's no time for that. The book is over. The twist ending is exactly the same as the first book's twist ending. Somebody unexpectedly puts on a haunted mask, so now our heroes have another mask to stop. Come to think of it, this book totally ignored last book's twist ending. How did Noah get the haunted mask off? I'm told the TV show had a throwaway line to explain the problem. Something like, "Good thing Noah was able to remove the soul-stealing haunted mask because it has a 5-minute return policy." The end. Post-book follow-up. The premise of the book is great. The haunted mask is back to get revenge on the terrible bully from the first book. It's nice to see Steve get his comeuppance. There are plenty of other Goosebumps bullies who deserve punishment. It's also nice to see the new and improved version of Carly Beth, who's no longer scared of anything. I like the first half of the book, although it has 2 problems. Conceptually, it's the same as the first book. A kid is pranked mercilessly until they go to the store to get the haunted mask for revenge on Halloween. It's the same basic thing, although I think there are enough differences to keep it interesting. The other problem is that it's too slow. Steve puts on the mask halfway through the book. Carly Beth put on her mask a third of the way through the book. I would have expected this book to be the faster-paced one, because it's the sequel. It doesn't need more build-up than the first one did, since readers already know about the masking characters. I didn't like the second half of the book as much. I think the problem is that the old man mask is kind of boring. It doesn't do anything scary to Steve, it just makes him old and tired. There were so many better options, like the monster animal masks, or a supervillain mask, or even the movie, The Mask. I don't know why the book decided to go with turning Steve into the "I've fallen and can't get up" lady. The idea that this mask has to be removed in a different way is a good one. I think the book could have developed that idea more. As in, Carly Beth and Steve could have talked to the shopkeeper, learned the mask needs a costume, then spent several chapters looking for the correct costume. I think that would work better than having them stumble upon the costume solution, mostly by luck. Overall, I'd say it's a good sequel that mostly follows the same story beats as the first one, with some new ideas that could have been developed better. Honestly, the highlight is seeing the characters from the first book return. This would be a much better book if the scary mask did more than merely make Steve old. And yeah, I kind of think having Steve and Carly Beth fall in love would have been a great twist ending. I give Goosebumps number 36, The Haunted Mask 2, 6 masks out of 10.